Welcome to MCM TV2. This is where all the extra stuff goes from the main channel of Marty Car Mods. And on the main channel of Marty Car Mods, you may have just seen, we got this GC8 WRX. This is a 2000 model. We bought it, it was crashed. The whole front here was pushed back, but not so badly that it couldn't be repaired. And back in the day when these things were new and they cost $50,000 or $60,000, and that's in 2000 money, you would always repair these because writing them off didn't make any sense. The rest of the car is actually in pretty good condition. A couple of scratches, high Ks, but mostly just paintwork. It had been a one-owner car, and we actually found the service history in there. It had been serviced at the same Subaru dealership for 24 years, including by our friend Aaron, who helped us do it. So this one, we just finished manual swapping it, and we also changed the interior. So this was originally automatic. This was a special edition version that came with like a cream, fancy leather interior and also an automatic gearbox. Automatic WRXs, like they were a thing. Some people just wanted like a sports car that was also auto, but really the whole secret to these was the manual gearbox, and it was a lot of fun. It's worth noting as well, the Australian gearboxes that came out in these and the Japanese gearboxes were a different ratio. So we actually put a Japanese gearbox in this, which makes it all a bit shorter. It means you're rowing gears, but it also feels a bit more sprightly. This comes with a TD04 turbo, which is a very basic turbo and a kind of low boost, small one, very responsive. But in my experience on these 2-litre EJ20s, they work really, really well. They come on hard, they feel really good on the street. It makes it feel a bit more torquey, even though it does run out of puff up top. But you may have noticed on this side, we've got a two-door WRX. This one is an STI. This is an Australian delivered one. There was only 399 of these that came into Australia officially at the time. Since then, there's been others that have come across from Japan as private imports, personal imports, and grey market imports. They're a little bit different. This is one I picked up. At the time, it was the cheapest one on car sales, and I picked it up. It promptly broke. Popped an engine, which they were known for doing. They had very aggressive tunes on them, and they were kind of more tuned for Japanese fuel, and then when you put Aussie 98 fuel in them, they just ping and have a bad time. So they're kind of known for it. So I did hurt the engine in this, and a couple of years later, we actually ended up putting a 2018 STI 2.5 there into it. Now, these things are Lego cars between both of them, but the reason I've got them parked side by side is that they're actually pretty much the same car. So even though this is a coupe, you'll kind of notice that they just use different bits. So like the front part of the side skirt's basically the same. The carpet up to there is the same. All the seats and that is the same. And then you've just got this back section and there's just no door there. But even the length of the thing is the same. All the parts that will fit this will generally fit this. You would think that you would have like different length tail shafts or different stuff like that. It's just not the case. Now, it's worth mentioning this is not a 22B, and people who know Subarus will know that was probably the most iconic and famous car they ever made. It did look like this. It was based off the Coupe, but it had flared guards, wider track, a 2.2-litre engine, and a whole bunch of other fruit. But to drive, I have driven both of them and driven them back to back. Not that different. They kind of feel the same, particularly if you've got a modified one of these. The 22Bs, they weren't powerhouses, but at the time they were considered pretty awesome. So a couple of other small differences as well that you'll notice. These ones have the folding seats that will go all the way forward. The four doors don't always. I've put different type RA seats in it just because it matches the colour of the car as well. The STIs come with a bigger wing on the back. These ones also come with a rear wiper, which you don't get on the four doors. And you start to go, well, why didn't they just make more of these? Because these were pretty limited edition. The truth is people don't really buy two-door cars. Like this as a family car is way more useful, and you can kind of get away with going, well, I'm going to buy a sports car that I can also chuck, extra adults in or kids in or whatever it is. And it's a little bit more practical. So these ones outsold these by massive, massive numbers. You could also in the States get, I think, a RS25. You could get them in coupes as well, but they came with a 2.5-litre NA engine, not turbocharged. The Japanese ones came with a whole bunch of different stuff. In this one as well, it has been converted with a 6-speed. So it came with a 5-speed, and we actually upgraded it to a 6-speed, which is from a GDB or a slightly later STI 6-speed. With that, we also got new hubs, brakes, bigger drive shafts, and a DC-to-D controller, which is a diff controller where you can adjust the split front to rear, and it means you can do skids. And a lot of this all came from Rally World. You might go, well, why does a two-door even exist? Rally homologation is the reason. So they basically had to bring out a certain number of the cars, and then you could make a rally car out of it. And this is slightly lighter, allegedly, but not much, maybe like 50 kilos lighter. But I guess in race cars, that makes a difference. And the two-door coupe has always been, for me, iconic, partly because there's not many of them, and partly because I just think it's kind of looks cool. And you don't see that many two-door Subarus. Well, you didn't until the BRZ came out. Until then, this was kind of it. That's all they ever came out with. So in terms of how much you're paying for one, I did pick this up for $1,000. We spent just under 10 grand fully fixing it. That includes a driveline swap. The driveline was $1,000. A new interior was $1,000 as well, secondhand. Parts costs are starting to come up on these. They are just hitting that era now where it's 25 years old. Getting nice condition parts is starting to become challenging. So a set of door trims was going to cost as much as the car. So we had to sort of DIY some stuff to make that work. But the good news is, like a lot of Subarus, it is Lego. So Forester parts will fit. Liberty parts will fit. Not all of them, there's some mixing and matching involved, but you generally can use those parts from lots of different cars to upgrade the car the way you want. So this might be, these days, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 realm. You can still pick these up in the teens, depending on the condition, depending what you want. Otherwise, the only small difference as well is you've got 5x114.3, which is the typical size you'll find on Toyotas and Evos and stuff like that. Subaru is known for 5x100, including BRZs, the old ones as well, 5x100. So wheel choice is different as well. These are the stock 16s that used to come with. I believe this would have come with 16-inch wheels as well, or maybe 17, and at the moment I've got 17s on it as well, but I had to change the wheels to fit the hubs, to fit the brakes. So coming back here, the only other difference you'll notice is tail lights. So the STIs actually in Japan will come with a clear tail light lens, but the way you can tell it's an Australian delivered one is, it's got the same tail lights as the stock one. If you see them with white, then they've either been upgraded or they are the JDM ones. So that's a bit of a rundown of the difference between the 2-door and 4-door. There's a lot more, but if you want to modify something and you want to get a whole lot of parts, you want to be able to have a Lego car where you can just have a lot of fun slapping secondhand stuff off Marketplace or off eBay or off the internet onto your car, I'd highly recommend at some point in your life, grab a Subaru like this. It's so much fun. It's cheap, it's enjoyable, and they are really nice to drive. So you can drive them like an idiot. You can, around a track, of course, or they're just good to daily and cruise. And the EJ20 and the EJ25 series of engine has been around since 1989, and they only stopped at 2018, something like that, maybe even later. And so you can still get a lot of bits for them. They're in that sweet spot. Maybe not these GC8s. These ones are starting to fade out, but the ones that came after that are definitely a good buy. If you haven't checked out the video on this one, it's on the main Marty Car Mods channel. There's also a series of videos of this, including changing the engine, which we did recently as late last year, and we actually road tripped this around Australia. It did some excellent burnouts and donuts next to Moog's 180SX. So a lot of fun. Thanks for watching. This is MCM TV2. See you next time. If you want to grab a Marty Mods jacket, these are brand new. You can click the thing and grab them off our shop. See you next time.